I want to talk about some right-wing figures turning on Andrew Tate. Now, this isn't a completely new phenomenon. Many evangelical types, many very religious types, devout Catholics in the far right and the right wing, have never really liked Andrew Tate. They don't like him because they can kind of see through his pimping behavior, because he's acted like a pimp, an internet pimp. And if you're somebody who's extremely devout and you don't like pornography and you don't like the porn industry and you don't like camgirling, not even talking about him scamming cam girls with him publicly admitting on his platform that he lies to them about taxes to steal their money, which is fraud, by the way, crime. But on a basic level, they don't like the industry, so they don't like Andrew Tate. But more and more, I've seen this crowd of people not only kind of grow in its size, but also grow in its vocal opposition to Andrew Tate. And recently, Andrew Tate had an interview with Tucker Carlson, and it was its usual, like, no hard questions, kind of semi-softball Tucker Carlson interview that he does to people that he likes, right? But Liz Wheeler, who is a former OAN host that I really know because, what was it that she said? I think it was that the California was about to ban Bibles. She said that as an OAN host. Now she hosts her own right-wing podcast. She tweeted out this video with the caption, "Much must-watch video exposes Andrew Tate's lies to Tucker Carlson. Warning, this is really horrendous stuff." Let's watch this because this got 2.6 million views on Twitter. So let's check it out.
What are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges which include human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on CobraTate.com I have my PhD program, and that is, PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm,
Clever.
And
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
And you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So you'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has—
By the way, bottom bitch is, look, I don't even need to add much commentary to this. This video kind of like lays it out pretty clearly. But bottom bitch is literally pimp terminology, as in the quote unquote hoe that manages the rest of the hoes, the bottom bitch.
to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give him a bottle of vodka.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous.
And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well.
And over time, I just built up this big little empire of webcam girls. At one point, I had 4 locations, 75 girls working for me. I'd take around half of the money, around 50%.
You take 50%.
Around 50%.
They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes.
He would just pay me a flat fee of $15.
This is right again here. It's literal just fucking fraud. It's fraud. You tell them that it's taxes that's taking the rest of it, and it isn't. He's just stealing. It's fraud. Here's the thing that gets me about Andrew Tate being charged with crimes in Romania. I don't know if he'll be found guilty, but the dude is a criminal because he's admitted to the crimes online, unless it's all literally just fake. That every single crime he's ever admitted to online is fake, but then that means the entirety of his personality is fake. Because he's saying this is not as if it's a joke. He's saying this as if it's advice you give to other people. Not only is he committing fraud, but he's advising other people to use fraud as a business strategy.
£15 an hour.
We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? Sending crazy money. And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad, because they're like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000.
When you look at the money that I was actually bringing in, it just doesn't even scratch the surface.
I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house to make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
I saw him smack girls with a belt.
Some ideas? You want my ideas?
Now, Andrew Tate's response to this is that the girl wanted it, that it was a kink thing. I don't know if there's any legitimacy to that, but I guess, and the issue of fairness, I should at the very least mention it. But of course, that's his perspective.
That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out.
Doesn't sound like a kink. That's all I'm saying.
You can't stay in there forever.
Once again, this is an IQ test, right? Because any guy who's bad with women would look at it and go, Tate's a woman beater.
I say it. Look at the camera. This is what happens, you don't listen. Look at the camera. Why are you getting hit? Why are you getting beaten? You don't listen. You. Do as I say.
Any man who's actually a G, who's been around a little bit, would look at the video and go, man, she wants that.
The media machine, they'd call up ex-girlfriends and say, if you have anything bad to say about Andrew, we can pay you $50,000 for the story. And they tried very hard. They didn't find any evidence of anything.
And I had gone to the shower, I came back and I noticed he was, like, I saw him raping her. And,
People say, why did you in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free.
And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house.
Because I'm not particularly, what would you say?
Oh, here it is again. 1 second. Before we finish this, and we're going to finish this, I am in Ukraine, so air raid sirens are happening. I think drones might be inbound. This is the second air raid siren of the night. I'm going to be going to bed after this. But I guess I should give you guys a... Just waiting. Okay, air raid sirens are done. Sorry, I just wanted to... I like to pay attention to when air raid sirens go off. Let's continue. Okay, 1 second. Okay, there we continue.
Impressed by what he's done on the sex business front. It seems to me a bit on the pimpy side, let's say.
I get called a pimp a lot, but and the reason I use the term is because I don't see it as a negative term. I see it as positively inspirational and motivating person.
She has to respect you and love you and want to work with you. And that's done through
cute abbreviation, guys. Come on.
Pimp, positively inspirational and motivating person.
I'm gonna send you a book. It's a guy called Pimpin' Ken, who was a street pimp in the 90s, and he wrote a book, 50 Laws of the Game. And one of the laws of the game is a hoe without instruction is headed for destruction. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think
the thing that gets me, the thing that gets me about this interview, and every single time I release a video on Andrew Tate, his dumb fuck, knuckle dragging, window licking, doorknob sucking, troglodyte moron fans will dislike my video to high heaven. The highest amount of dislikes I ever get, and I've released some pretty controversial videos about Ukraine, about a whole host of topics, is always the Andrew Tate videos, because they'll search up every single video that has to do with this person. They'll look up his name every fucking day, or they'll pick anything that's vaguely related to Andrew Tate. So they'll end up on my content. And because I'm not literally blowing him like they want me to, and I'm just saying he's denying this thing we knew he said, they'd be like, bullshit, he got wrecked in that BBC interview. Because for them, it's all aesthetics, the aesthetics of power. He was like standing up straight and he said things confidently. He could like straight up say, the sky is purple. The sky's purple. We all know the sky's purple. Everyone who's sensible knows the sky is purple. Only beta cucks thinks the sky is blue. Are you a beta cuck? And if he says it confidently enough, they're just gonna buy it. They're not even gonna go, they're not gonna look if he's lying about these things that this BBC interviewer brought to his attention and said, you said this thing. He'll just deny that he said it, and they'll buy it. They won't go Google it because they want it to be true that he didn't say it and he's a liar.
Rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that.
So yeah, on CobraTape.com, I have my PhD program.
I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking, because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm...
Clever.
Man, you know, I've met a lot of left-wingers that don't like Andrew Tate, and a few right-wingers who don't like Andrew Tate. But recently, whether it's not this person, I know a few other right-wingers as well, like Nuance Bro, and others, it seems more and more and more I'm seeing more right-wingers and centrists start to not like the taste Andrew Tate puts in their mouth, right? That sounded pretty gay. But they don't like the taste that Andrew Tate puts in their mouth. They go and they look at the cavalcade of evidence like this, and it's very hard to act like you are a family values individual when you're trying to prop up a fucking pimp as a role model for youth. And let me just say, this guy is getting a lot of youth to pay attention to him. But if you're genuinely conservative and it's not a grift, the idea of a pimp being a role model to your kid should be horrifying. It should be horrifying to everyone. But your values are conservatism, then yes, you should not be supporting and or saying that your kid should look up to a cyber pimp.